G'day, Tom, my Fuzzyites, and welcome to a quick review of FNAF 2, the movie. Unfortunately, I saw it a week ago, so I guess this will be a testament to how memorable the movie is. I've just been really busy with a lot of stuff, and so haven't been able to sit down and do this talk about it. I did talk about it a bit on one of the Dead by Daylight videos I did recently. I talked about it. And so I'm going to do a non-spoilery talk about it and then go into, like, spoilers and what I really didn't like. And there's a little bit. So, first off with the movie, it looks great. I love the locations. The characters, I think most of them are practical. There definitely is some CGI. But for me, there was no obvious tell if stuff was CGI. Like the first one, it looked incredible. It looked like a legit FNAF location and whatnot. Like 10 out of 10. The scenery and atmosphere in the movie was really, really nice. Without going into spoilers, there are quite a few things that made me go like, why are you doing it this way? I understand why they did it certain ways, but it's, it kind of irked me. There are quite a few moments where I'm like, oh, come on, really? Where the atmosphere gave way, or the story gave way to atmosphere a couple of times, if you know what I mean, where it's like, oh, instead of a character doing something that makes sense, they went against that, in my opinion, in order to push forward something that just was added to, like, the atmosphere of it, but not really making sense for the story. But, like, I enjoyed it. If you like FNAF, you'll probably like this. There's a lot of references to the different, at some of the animatronics they referenced, some of, other things from FNAF. It's a good love letter to FNAF overall. If you don't care for FNAF, you don't know what FNAF is, and you're just going to see the movie, it might be a hard sell. And I'll get to that when I actually talk more about the individual parts of it. Because like I said, nothing's overly bad. But like, if you're into FNAF, you can forgive a lot of stuff. If you're not into FNAF and you're just going for a good story, it was an interesting story. I like the story. I just feel like they could have changed a few things up in order to make it more coherent and not have problems that I saw. But again, it could just be a me thing. And the acting was really good, as always. They did a good job on that. So, like, overall, if you like FNAF, I say go see it at least once. And without getting too far into spoilers, there are, like, if they are making a FNAF 3, which I think they are, they did set up a good hook for FNAF 3. Again, they kind of took away story in order to put atmosphere out there, which I don't like, and I'll talk about in a second. But overall, it was fine. It's not going to be my top 10 movie. I think FNAF 1 was a lot more coherent and worked really well, even though it also was kind of weird. 2, it felt like, okay, we need to go from movie 1 to movie 3 if we're making a movie 3. What do we need to do in 2 to get there? XYZ. Boom. Perfect. We got it. Like I said, it works. I like it. For me, there's a lot of problems. Alright, but that's it for my 4-minute talk about not going into spoilers or whatnot. It's flawed, but it's fine. Not going to be a top contender in my movie list. But I had fun with it. I would probably watch it again with friends. Probably not by myself. But now we're going into spoilers. If you don't care about spoilers for the FNAF movie, move along. So, the story of the FNAF 2 works really good to begin with. It has Charlotte, I think, in the old original location pizzeria. She sees a kid get taken into the back by the yellow rabbit. She goes and saves him. The yellow rabbit kills her. There's a whole debacle on, she did it to herself. She shouldn't have gone into the back area. The sleazy bullshit cover-up that they usually do. Charlotte falls onto the puppet, which looks really good, by the way. I like the puppet. Again, a lot of the stuff they did in this movie was really well done. But and so she inhabits the puppet. Years later, there's a couple storylines going on here. Like, you have Mike and his sister. His sister is trying to do stuff for a science fair, but the teacher kind of doubts her a lot, and tries to interfere with that. Mike is just trying to live his life. Vanessa is somewhat trying to get over her father and break control from him, even though he's, at the moment, captured and put in place by the original animatronics from the first movie. They are holding him so he cannot escape. And so at one point, some people, hold on. So there's a original Do Not Steal ghost hunting team that goes into the place, the original location. One of them accidentally releases a puppet. The puppet takes over her body and looks very freaky, by the way. But she's now possessed. The other people are killed off in interesting manners, which I'll get to that when we get... you know what? I can say my grievances while we go, actually. So, like, I like that. The thing is, when the ghost people go into the place, like, it's one of those generic ghost shows where, like, someone has one of them has a camera, one of them has an EMF reader, and the other person has, like, the microphone thing to hear people. They are invited in by a man. Either way, they go through. They're slowly killed off one by one, which, first of all, they fucking split up, which I hated completely. Because you would think, if you were doing a show about exploring a haunted mansion, maybe the first thing you do is, like... I could see if it was our first time there, to kind of, like, split up, find good locations to look into and whatnot. I could see that. But literally, they were recording currently for the show as they all split off into different locations, which was nuts to me. Maybe that's how it usually goes, but it felt very forced. Like, okay, we need to kill these people off one by one. Let's do that. And so it just felt forced and whatnot. On top of that, another moment, one of the people, there's like a boat ride that goes through the whole place, which is very neat. But one of the ghost hunters falls into the water. Okay, you know, classic thing. And instead of him immediately like, oh, I'm wet, getting out of the water, he immediately starts walking in the fucking water down the track. And I'm like, why are you doing that? No, get out of the water. Regardless of it being haunted or not, or what goes on, because there is a good jump scare there that's really freaky. They did a really good job on it, but he stays in the water and gets taken. Like, it was a beautiful moment. But at the same time, it's like, if I were to fall into the water, any water that I wasn't interested in going through, I'd immediately get out of the water. So again, another kind of forced point just for a good scare / death. But anyways, the other person also gets taken out by something. I can't remember what they got taken out by. Oh, yes, I do. So I won't go too far into spoilery about some things as well. Even though I'm spoiling a lot of stuff, I'm not going to spoil some major points. Because, you know, why go see the movie if I explain everything? But another person was taken out in a creative-ish fashion. And then, yeah, the one girl lets loose Charlotte, the puppet. The puppet possesses her. And then, going back to Mike and whatnot, his sister Abby is trying to do whatever for the science fair. She misses her ghost friends that were in the original 4 animatronics from the first location. She goes back there. Mike finds her. And while there, one thing that's weird is they find a lot of stuff that looks brand new and not decayed, which first off should be a red flag. Secondly, the location had been closed down for a while, so that there's like broken down pillars and ceiling and a lot of dust. But no, a lot of it's just there and it looks like it hasn't been touched, or it looks like it's brand new, which, you know, whatever. It's very awkward. But they find a kind of talking device thing, I guess, where it's like a machine. It has like Toy Freddy's face on it. You can press the button and talk to the individual characters. Anything. They made a popcorn bucket out of it, apparently. Ish. And so she takes that, yada, yada, yada. Stuff happens. One thing that irks me is Mike goes on kind of a date with Vanessa. And, like, apparently it doesn't go well. I don't know when, but at one point, Mike finds out that there was another killing Charlotte in the original location. He finds a flyer that was put up by the Charlotte's dad. And so from off the whatever, he's like, yeah, I don't want to be around you anymore. You lied to me about there being another killing and whatnot. And Charlotte apparently was Vanessa's best friend. Which to me just felt like out of nowhere. It's like, oh, her dad, who's a serial killer, killed more people? Like, I get it. It's one of those things where it's like, your dad killed people, and there was more people, and a whole other location you didn't tell me about. I kind of get it, but it feels more like just a random thing they did. Like, oh, we need Mike to be mad at Vanessa. Yeah, that's how we'll do it. So it feels very contrived, in my opinion. So he's upset with her. They leave. Through the speaking spell, Charlotte talks to Abby about getting help and whatnot. Abby goes there. She finds Toy Chica, who is being controlled by Charlotte. Charlotte controls all the toy animatronics. And her goal is to get let loose out of the perimeter. Because there's like a perimeter guard around the pizzeria, I guess. And if the animatronics leave the perimeter, their batteries die very, very fast. Like, I guess so. I can see there being a field where if you leave it, it, like, drains your batteries quickly. And whatnot, so she needs to get out. Whatever. For plot relevance, we'll continue with that. Anyways, but Charlotte captures Vanessa, forcing Vanessa to tell Charlotte, who will then input it into Toy Chica to tell Abby about how to release all of them. That happens. Mike finds out about the first location, goes there, and whatnot. And so at that point, you learn Charlotte's plan, because in the beginning of the movie, when she saw the kid get taken, she tried to warn a lot of adults, like, hey, a kid's being taken, and none of them helped her. So now she really hates all adults, which, when I first watched the movie, I was kind of like, that just seems kind of stupid and arbitrary. Like, I kind of get it. But it's like saying, when I was younger, a dog bit me. Now I want to get rid of every single dog in the world, regardless of what they do and whatnot. Like, I get it. It moves the plot along, but I felt like, I know it's been a couple of years, but have it be like, oh, I'm going to kill the parents that didn't help me in the original incident, and then I'm going to kill every parent. At least then it would make a little more sense to me, at least. Again, it might just be a me thing. And yeah, so she gets let loose. She does that. Some murders happen and whatnot. One interesting point that I went in knowing that in this movie, is that MatPat voices Toy Bonnie. And the unfortunate thing is, because there is so much, like, effects around his voice, you can't really tell it's him. It's a good performance. They all did a really good job performing, but, like, if you didn't know that was Matt, you would not know. It could be any generic person, which kind of sucks, because, if you're playing a role, you want to be able to be like, hey, that's me, and people go like, oh, I kind of hear it, and you kind of hear it at points. He puts on a, oh, hey there, type of voice, which fits. One voice that I think was wild, is that Toy Freddy, and maybe this is the point of it. Toy Freddy has a very deep voice. Very deep voice. Similar to, like, Glamrock, which completely caught me off guard. Because the only other, like, somewhat toy, I don't think it's actually Toy Freddy, but the only other thing I know of, like, a character like that sounds away is in Ultimate Custom Night. There's the one bear who's playing the jump scare game. And if he gets jump scared, you get jump scared. And he has a voice like this. I think it was another, like, well-known YouTuber who did it. I'm pretty sure. And so, you know, he has a very, like, oh, Freddy, what are you gonna do? I'm gonna snap some necks. I'm like, what the fuck? Great voice. I don't think it worked for Freddy, in my opinion. But again, that might have been the point. He looks very nice, cute, and cuddly. And he just has this completely badass voice. Could be what it is. But yeah. Yeah. But other than that, like... So anyways, it goes on. Mike is in the office. He's trying to... disconnect them, I guess. Locate them. It's kind of hard to know, because he's sending Vanessa to locations, I guess, just to help the parents that are there. And the other thing, like I said, it's kind of arbitrary to what parents she is going after. It would be one thing, again, if in the beginning of the movie we saw some parents being bad, or I think maybe there was an older couple. They might have been there at the beginning. I just wish it was more clear, because it's just them going after seemingly random parents. Either it didn't get brought up to me, it wasn't brought up clear enough that these are the parents that denied her in the beginning, or offspring of the parents, whatever, and whatnot. So it's like, you're going after generic parents. I have no feelings towards these people. I have no idea what they're about. But anyways, that goes on. Vanessa's trying to stop them. Mike has some nice interactions in the office trying to get the things. My favorite... There's one weird thing about it. In the background of the shots when Mike is looking outside of the office, which doesn't have a door, and they mentioned that like 2 times, like, why isn't there a door there? Like, funny. And there's the vents there, and other animatronics show up. It's a good... I like it. It's a good scene. But in the distance, you can see something hanging from the ceiling that has purple eyes. And originally I thought, oh, that's Mangle. Mangle must have purple eyes and is just there. But one, you see it in 2 different scenes. Nothing comes about it. So maybe I missed it. Maybe it wasn't that. And one, it doesn't do anything. 2, maybe I would misjudge what it is, because it looked like purple eyes. Like it was in the same like space apart of other characters there. And at first I was like, oh, that's probably Mangle. So Mangle's going to be in the office. And Mangle does show up, but Mangle has orange eyes. Mangle, I think, is also CGI, but it worked really well. Yeah, so either way, that goes on. They stop everything. But then something happens where Charlotte redoes a thing to take back over the animatronics that were just shut down and cut off from the Wi-Fi. So in a last-ditch effort, Mike goes to the original the Freddy Fazbear Diner from the first area to get the other animatronics to help his sister Abby, who's being attacked by Charlotte. They all go, and it's a very, again, unfortunately, I would have loved to see a little back and forth between Charlotte and these animatronics. Maybe, I know they couldn't do a lot, but a little bit, because it's just a quick takedown after quick takedown of all the animatronics. Charlotte gets played a music box, and she scurries away. And yeah, and then, like, the original animatronics that we saw from the first movie, the one leader guy, I think, the leader kid, is like, just so you know, we're done now. All the suits power down and whatnot, so they're completely useless. He's like, yeah, we're done here. We can't do anything else, and the yellow guy, we can't hold him anymore. And so Afton allegedly is being released. So that's fun. But anyways, and then it ends. Vanessa, Mike, Abby, they're all safe. The one father guy's there. Vanessa's like, oh, I'm so glad. And out of nowhere, again, Mike is just like, no, I don't trust you. Stay away from me and whatnot. You lied. There's another major plot point that comes into this. Another thing she lied about. That, like, I'm like, okay, this is an interesting way to go about it. I, like, it's one thing to remember going into both of these movies is that, and I should have mentioned that at the beginning, is they are completely different continuity from the games in a lot of areas, and especially the one here. And so this character is, yeah, so the one character is like, yeah, I'm helping Afton complete what he's doing. But it kind of, also that one kind of ends. I don't remember if he gets killed or if he just gets knocked out. But yeah, and then the one thing I will spoil, because it's the big one that goes into if they're going to do a 3 or not, and is one of my bigger gripes of the movie. So it's complete spoilers for the direct end of the movie, which you've already spoiled a lot of it, which you should know going into this. I've mentioned it a few times. We're spoiling. But it ends with Michael and Abby leaving, the one father of Charlotte leaving, Vanessa there, and then Vanessa gets taken over by the puppet, and then it ends. Which to me, I'm like, did they not think to like chase it down? Or at the very least, have a line going like, Charlotte's still out there, isn't she? No, it's fine. The music played. She's going to go back to her house. We have time. We'll just have to go there right away to seal her off for good. But there was nothing. They played the music box. It scurries off. Not even like... So it's not even clear at that point if you were watching it in that moment like, oh, she's going off to the place. No, she's escaping into the shadows. And that's where it ends. So... like I said, I'm excited for 3 because you have Charlotte who's in possession. You have Charlotte who's in possession of Vanessa. You have William Afton, who is now released since the kids are gone. And yeah, so overall, like I said, I liked it. I'd probably watch it again, but it's not going to be a top 10 contender for me, sadly. I have not much else to say. Like I said, the ghost thing was weird. The biggest thing, Mike immediately hating Vanessa for not telling him about another new area. Like, part of me gets that, but a part of me is also like, that was her best friend who got killed, man. I'm sure she doesn't want to relive those memories, and what does it matter? It matters now because Charlotte's out and whatnot. So I kind of get it, but to me, it more feels like they needed a reason for Mike to just completely not like Vanessa. And this is what they came up with. And I feel, again, it's like saying, oh my gosh, your dad's a murderer. You didn't tell me he murdered more people? Like, and again, it's not a thing where Mike is like, this perturbs me, Vanessa. I want to trust you. But, like, it feels like you didn't tell me about this, and that makes me feel like I can't trust you. And, like, no, it's not I slightly don't trust you here because of this. This is a weird thing you held from me. And it's immediately like, I hate you. You lied to me. And so, later on in the movie, when the secondary lie comes out, a bigger lie, mind you, an even bigger lie, I would say, it feels like complete anger. To complete anger, where I feel like all they needed to do is have him be like, I don't like that you didn't let me know about this. We're supposed to be friends, if not more. Yeah, so there you go. That's kind of the movie in a quick roundup way. Like I said, I like it. If you're not a fan of FNAF, you're probably not going to like it that much. It's fine. It has some cool animatronic deaths, I guess. But there was a lot of, in my opinion, there was a lot of just contrived things that, again, not the worst things in the world, but it made it harder to go like, I understand what's going on here. The main things, like I said, is just Mike right off the bat being fucking pissed at Vanessa. I think they could have done more of a thing where he's like on the fence trusting her because like, oh, there's another place. You didn't even tell me there was another place. There could have been more animatronics, Vanessa. And there is. You know about Charlotte. The thing is, she also knew about Charlotte from the beginning. So she could have like, I get him being mad at that to a degree. But I feel like it should have been more of a, I'm on the fence about trusting you here because you did this to me, Vanessa. And not I hate you completely, Vanessa. Like, just feels off. Beyond that, Yeah, so the Mike being angry thing, I think they could have done better. I think it should have been one thing where he's on the fence trusting her, and then the last thing, like, that just breaks it off for him. Completely destroys his trust in her. Because it kind of plays into the movie, but he does trust her in the end there. It's not like he goes there and doesn't save her because he can't trust she's on his side. So I feel like it felt like they just escalated that for no real reason. Beyond that, the other thing that's weird is he went to the Freddy Fazbear thing. He found a flyer of Freddy's is murder, and like, it's weird that he's like, I don't know, like, he wouldn't just be like, yeah, we know kids were murdered here. I got it. Throw it away. But he seemed really concerned with that. Like, yeah, it's known. That's how he knew about, and that's how he knew about the first primary location with the boat and whatnot. Which even then, that I understand him being very upset about, because it's like, but the other thing is she saw drawings that Abby was doing of the boats. She was going to tell him, and then he was like, I don't really trust you here. Not giving her a chance to tell him about the other location. Anyways, I'm done with the mic thing. The mic thing was really, really off for me. I feel like they could have, like, escalated it slowly, like, you know, oh, there's a new place you didn't tell me about. Abby's been drawing this place, you didn't tell me about it. Oh, this third major thing you didn't tell me about. That's it, we're done. Besides that, the ghost thing was kind of weird, them all splitting up. I get it so you can have different deaths, and the deaths were really interesting and good. And yeah, that's kind of it. I think some other smaller things where I'm like, okay, that's just weird. But like I said, overall, if you like FNAF, you'll probably enjoy it quite a bit because there are a lot of references. If you don't like FNAF, this probably isn't going to be the movie for you because it's just, again, a lot of contrived moments. Oh, we need to get to here? We'll do this. Yeah, either way, that's it. Thank my fathers for watching. I hope you enjoyed. So yeah, just, I guess, watch the movie because I am excited. I am very excited for the third one. They are really setting things up for the third confrontation in the movie with Vanessa being taken over by Charlotte, and then Afton allegedly being back. Really excited for that. So either way, thank you my fathers for watching. I'll see you next anytime. Take care.